Hey guys, so I've been through a lot when it comes to productivity, and I'm still learning, but I just wanted to share some productivity tips that I've learned over time. So here are 7 productivity tips which I wish I knew years ago. It took countless of failed New Year's resolutions to realize that my approach was completely wrong. I was so focused and consumed on achieving the goal to the point I failed to plan how I would even get there. For example, when I was trying to eat healthier, I just said I would start eating healthier, but I didn't really make a plan to how I would do that. I only answered the what instead of the how. Even my goals were disappointed in me. I knew I needed to design a system. A system is a set of repeatable action steps to ensure long-term success. I finally created a system by replacing my foods with healthy foods only, setting reminders, scheduling a set day and time to go grocery shopping for healthy foods, and reporting to my accountability partner about my progress. So instead of focusing on the end result, we need to focus on the system, on how we can get to our goals. What's the daily and weekly specific action steps we can take? Here are some steps for establishing a system. This may seem pretty obvious, but not every activity is created equal. What we equate with productivity may just mean we're busy. It may just mean that we're tricking ourselves into thinking that a task is valuable and necessary when it's not. For example, when I was creating a PowerPoint project in school, I was so focused on finding beautiful pictures and making it look beautiful, when in reality, I was supposed to focus on creating the actual content, which was what I was being graded on. I basically converted it into a sad art project. By the time it came to writing up the actual work, I was so tired and I needed a nap. So in the end, I made zero progress on my work. For each activity I do, I've learned to identify what is the small action I can take to make the biggest difference on the activity itself. I really wish I had discovered this trick sooner so that I would have saved so much more time. I went through so many long and painful hours of boring material. So I realized literally everything you can put on 2 times the speed. This includes audiobooks, YouTube videos, podcasts, and even professors' lectures. Now I'm having a blast putting everything on 2 times the speed. The audio sounds like chipmunks, but you get used to it. To quadruple my productivity even more, I sometimes play the content on 2 times the speed in the background while I do activities that don't require a lot of mental exertion. I tend to procrastinate on minor errands and chores sometimes. Okay, all the time. But it's only because I'm so focused on my important work. I just look at it this way. If I were to put off my important work every single time an errand or chore came up, then I'd get nothing done. I'm not saying that you can start procrastinating on everything. Please don't hold me accountable to your angry to-do list. Putting off those activities later on in the day isn't so bad if you can focus on your important work. What I mostly do is I chunk and sort the similar errands and chores together on my calendar, and then I time block the most important activities in the mornings. After reading countless of autobiographies from successful people, I've tried to figure out what is it they do that makes them successful, and I wanted to model after them. I used to think what would work would be to copy their routines, their habits, and read the books that they've read, but in the end, I got nowhere. So I've come to the conclusion that what works for them may not work for me. Our path, goals, and dreams are all completely different. So I've learned that you can use the methods of successful people as inspiration, but not as a literal, straightforward direction in life. I constantly face productivity guilt for intentionally relaxing, but I needed to remind myself that self-care is productive and rest is necessary, and that too much of a productivity obsession is really unhealthy. Even though I knew this fact, I don't know why my brain continued to jump on the productivity guilt train. I thought that by engaging in a relaxing activity, it would be enough for me to rest. But I realized that even though I was in a relaxing activity, my mind continued to think about work. For example, I'll think about that latest blog post or that school assignment while I'm trying to relax with some guitar playing. The truth was, my body was present, but my mind was not. So what has recently helped me a lot is to do a brain dump. I have a notebook alongside with me, and then I just jot down whatever thoughts that come in my mind to do that dump. Sometimes it's just minor stupid thoughts, and it's good to just let it out and move on. What exactly is productivity? Everyone has their own personal definition, but a lot of us don't know it. Maybe the most common thing we think of is working endlessly and getting work done. But this definition itself is way too vague, and it may not even be the right fit for us. Without defining productivity, how exactly do we know if we have succeeded or accomplished something in a day when there's no metric? I used to think that productivity meant studying for long hours without breaks, because that's what I saw my high-performing classmates do. Back to my previous point about modeling after others. I tried to model after them, but I still felt unhappy and unsatisfied. It made me realize that it wasn't what I envisioned productivity to be. And that's when I realized that if you don't define productivity for yourself, others will define it for you. For me, productivity is making progress on my most important activities in the morning and just fully and presently relaxing at night. It's publishing 2 articles per week, exercising, and playing the guitar at night. To other people, this may be far from productive, but it's my own personal definition. So, what's yours? So there's my personal tips for productivity, which I wish I knew earlier. Once again, what works for me may not work for you, but I sincerely still hope that it's still useful for you. Or if you have any productivity tips you want to share, then feel free to do so. Thanks for watching.